Hello, Dan. Good evening, San Diego. I'm live in Carlsbad at Sage Creek High School, and mask choice rallies continue across the county. The parent group Let Them Breathe is hosting a rally here at the school at 4:30, and this is to end mask mandates for schools K through 12. And this rally will be right before the Carlsbad Unified Board meeting. We have details coming up, but first, let's say good evening to Francella.
Well, mask choice rallies continue throughout the county right now. In fact, the Let Them Breathe group is continuing to sue the state and end mask mandates they hope for K through 12 students. KUSI's Teresa Sardina joins us live from Carlsbad. She's checking in with that group. Looks like you got a bunch of people there with you, Teresa.
Good evening, Logan. I'm here at Sage Creek High School, and I was just listening to the interview with Ginger and Melanie Brookholder. I understand that she is a mental health specialist and also a parent with the group Let Them Breathe. And these rallies are continuing across the county. There are 42 districts in the county. Many of them have started school already. I understand that Carlsbad Unified, they start next week on the 24th. And many parents that I spoke to here at this rally say they're going to send their kids to school next week without masks. And I know we have so many people here. These rallies are continuing to grow across the county. I'm here with Sherry McKeeman. She's the founder of Let Them Breathe. All right, we were just listening to the interview with Melanie Brookholder and that board of supervisors meeting yesterday. What was your takeaway from that meeting?
Well, we had hundreds of people that showed up. I think almost 200 people spoke. And it was just such a clear picture of how the people are waking up. We're not going to take this government control anymore. We're not going to stop until we have our rights back. But at the same time, it was a really clear picture of how government officials just aren't listening. And it's just really unfortunate and discouraging. But I think everyone really encouraged each other with their words yesterday.
Many of those who spoke at the Board of Supervisors meeting yesterday are here. And there was a lot of flack. There was a lot of response about Chair of Board of Supervisors, Nathan Fletcher. And I understand that he was responding to a lot of it, saying he is following the state's recommendations and requirements and the health experts. Just hearing that, what are your thoughts?
Well, it seems that these government officials keep liking to just pass the buck to someone else. For instance, today, Carlsbad could be meeting in person, but their school board has gone virtual again. Apparently, they didn't like hearing from us in person last time, which is unfortunate. And they're saying that, that it's because of state requirements or COVID regulations, but there's nothing saying that they have to be virtual right now. And we're seeing that just people continuing to shift the blame when, as our elected representatives, they need to be listening to our voices.
And that board meeting starts at 6. Have you had a conversation with the Carlsbad Union Board at all? Because I understand it's going to be virtual.
Well, unfortunately, when you reach out to the Carlsbad Union Board, you normally just get a form response from Superintendent Churchill. And so, yes, we would like to have more dialogue. We would like to be able to go to the board meetings in person, and we will just continue to advocate. This group right here in Carlsbad is kind of where it all started, that we were one of the first to start rallying and pushing back against the school closures. And so obviously they're committed. They got their schools open. They carried through with a lawsuit. And right now we're also waiting to see what happens in this lawsuit right now.
And before we go, what is the latest on the lawsuit?
Well, we are still waiting to hear that hearing date. And again, I know it's an agonizing wait. As you said, there's a lot of families that are planning to go to school, sharing their smiles. But at the same time, it is moving quickly because we've asked for that emergency injunction. So hopefully we will have a result here within a week or two.
All right, Sharon, thank you so much. All right, Logan, I'm going to send it back to you. We're live here at Sage Creek High School in Carlsbad, and this is one of many Let Them Breathe rallies taking place. This is to end mask mandates in schools K through 12. And we just heard last week that the state, they're requiring all school workers to show vaccination verification or get a COVID-19 test weekly. And many teachers here are saying that is bizarre, it's unbelievable. But we're going to be here throughout the Good Evening San Diego as these parents behind the group Let Them Breathe continue to rally. But a lot of the parents that I spoke to, they say, okay, well, next week school starts August 24th. They're going to send their kids to school with no masks. So what is the school district going to do? Logan?
Interesting. Thanks for the live report, Teresa. We'll check back in with you live from Carlsbad in the 5 o'clock hour.
Good evening, and I'm live in Carlsbad at Sage Creek High School. Many behind the parent group Let Them Breathe. They continue to rally to end mask mandates in schools K through 12. We have details coming up, and they have the Carlsbad Union School Board meeting starting at 6, so they're rallying right before. We have details coming up, but first, let's say good evening to Francella.
Mask choice rallies continue throughout the county. The group Let Them Breathe is continuing to sue the state to end mask mandates for all K through 12 students. KUSI's Teresa Sardina is live in Carlsbad to check in with the parent group and find out the latest move. And once again, every time I see this group, they just keep growing and growing. Seems like a lot of support out there, Teresa.
Oh, yes. Just take a look. We're here at Sage Creek High School here in Carlsbad, and these mass choice rallies continue. I think about over 100 people are here in Carlsbad Unified. They start school next week, next Tuesday, August 24th. And this is a topic of discussion right now. Should we send our kids to school wearing masks? Well, the state has a mask requirement K through 12. And I know last week the state had issued the report that school staff has to show vaccination verification or weekly COVID testing. But I'm back here with Sharon McKeeman, the founder of Let Them Breathe. Wow, the board meeting for Carlsbad Unified starts at 6. You thought it was in person. It is virtual. And throughout Good Evening San Diego, we've been talking about the Board of Supervisors meeting yesterday. Whoa, that was hot. Many of the parents behind Let Them Breathe were voicing their opinion about wearing masks when school returns. What was your takeaway from it?
Well, again, it was just so powerful to see how many people, and those were just the people that could get off work and come, just so many people coming and sharing their thoughts. And we need our elected officials to respect that and honor and just, take action.
I was watching a lot of the video, and Chair Board of Supervisors Nathan Fletcher was targeted, and I think it got a little aggressive in that board meeting. I mean, why target Nathan Fletcher?
Well, I didn't personally. What I chose to do was thank Supervisor Desmond, because he has stood for choice, he has stood for freedom. He's taking a stand not only on mask choice, but also on vaccine choice, and just saying that each person should have their... This is what it's all about, the kiddos. You can't ever keep the kiddos, on track. How could you possibly keep a mask on their face, right?
All right. We just had the lawsuit against the state as well. What's the latest with that?
So we are waiting for that hearing, and hopefully, we will find out any day now when that hearing is going to be. But yeah, again, back to, just the choice and the vaccine mandates. We are here standing with teachers as well, because we've heard that school staff is now having their choice taken away as well.
All right, Sharon, thank you so much. I'm going to have one of the teachers join us right now. This is Nicole Reich. She is a teacher with Vista Unified, hearing the report last week from the state issuing a mandate for school staff to show vaccination requirement or weekly testing. Your thoughts about that?
I feel like it really wasn't necessary. Teachers who wanted to get the vaccine got it, and the teachers who didn't want to get it did not get it. And so all a mandate does is it's going to segregate our schools, and it's going to create a really hostile working environment for teachers, which is going to translate into the classroom.
Are you a mom?
Yes.
Okay, and your thoughts about kids going back to school wearing masks?
Today we had our first day, and my daughter had her first day of kindergarten, and she had to wear a mask in the classroom. And her first comment when she came back after school was that she had a hard time focusing and breathing today.
And how are you going to handle this? Because it is a mandate in California schools. We understand that local schools are given the option of how they're going to enforce it, if they're going to do virtual learning or be in class. But as a mom, you're against the mask wearing. So your daughter wore the mask today in school. And how are you going to handle it if she doesn't want to wear it anymore?
I'm not sure. We're taking it on a day-by-day basis. It's hard because I work at the school that she is attending, and so it's kind of been a difficult path. So we're just taking it one day at a time and fighting as hard as we can outside of school.
Okay, we understand that parents have an issue with their kids wearing masks. Does your daughter have an issue wearing the mask?
Yes, absolutely. Definitely.
And why doesn't she want to wear it?
She said that she just wants to see her friends smile. It's really hard to be in a classroom and not be able to see them smile. And she feels like she was distracted all day because she's fussing with the mask instead of focusing on what her teacher is saying.
All right. Nicole and Sharon, thank you so much. We're wrapping up. All right, we're here live at Sage Creek High School in Carlsbad. A board meeting starts in about 25 minutes, and many of the parents believed that it was going to be an in-person board meeting, but it is virtual. But we're here at one of the Let Them Breathe rallies, which continue across the state. Many of these parents and community members are just fighting. They want to end mask mandates K through 12 schools. Send it back to you.
All right, Teresa, I think the reason so many of the folks yesterday addressed their comments to Nathan Fletcher was because he's the chairman, so he's the guy leading the group, and he wasn't making eye contact with any of them. So it seems like he was bringing some of that on, if not all of it. But certainly some great feedback tonight from the folks at Let Them Breathe. We'll see you next hour.
Good evening, San Diego. I'm Teresa Sardina, live in Carlsbad at Sage Creek High School. The mask choice rallies continue. Parents say they want to end mask mandates in schools K through 12. We have details coming up. But first, let's say good evening to Hunter.
Good evening, San Diego. I'm Logan Burns.
And I'm Ginger Jeffries. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Mask choice rallies continue throughout the county, and the group Let Them Breathe is suing the state to end mask mandates for all K through 12 students. KUSI's Teresa Sardina joins us live from Carlsbad. She's with the group, and she joins us now with the latest. Teresa?
Good evening, Logan. I'm here right in front of Sage Creek High School. And yes, these mass choice rallies continue to grow throughout the county. In fact, the state. And one of the rallies is wrapping up right now. They have a Carlsbad Unified School Board meeting that just started at 6 o'clock. Many of these parents believed it was going to be in person, but it is virtual. And they're just trying to really push to end mask mandates in schools K through 12. I'm back here with the founder, Sharon McKeeman of Let Them Breathe. Wow, what a turnout. And these rallies are just growing.
Yes, it was amazing. We had probably hundreds of people here. They now are getting on their phones to call into the meeting since unfortunately the board moved it to virtual. So we'll see how that goes.
Nothing has changed with state requirements. There's still a mandate requiring students K through 12 to mask up and also teachers. But then last week, a new mandate for school staff requiring vaccination verification or COVID-19 testing. What is the response you're getting from many teachers here?
Well, we're hearing teachers saying that they don't want to have to actually walk away from the profession they love, but that it's just not right that this is being forced on them. Our stance at Let Them Breathe is that our teachers, they're intelligent, they're educated, they're caring. Of course, if we trust them to educate our kids, we should trust them with their own healthcare decisions.
I know we're hearing Let Them Breathe also heard during the rally. Let them choose. Are things changing up here?
Well, I think it's been on our hearts. That's why I started this. We are about choice. I started this because I'm concerned where we see our country going. We're supposed to be a land of freedom and opportunities for people. But of course, we're now having to just say it even more clearly that these mandates just continue to be rolled out. And, you know, in the board meeting yesterday, we heard from healthcare workers that are actually losing their jobs over this.
There are 42 districts in the county. Many of the schools have gone back. Carlsbad Unified, they start next Tuesday, August 24th. What is that looking like for many of these students and parents and even teachers?
Well, I think there are a lot of emotions that are running high right now. Kids are excited to get back to school, but at the same time, they're just sharing with us they can't continue with this masking. They're suffering behind the masks, and we know that the schools don't have a good way to enforce it, so we expect them not to harass and discriminate against our kids. We are seeing some school districts take a stand and just say that, you know, ultimately this is up to the children. There is a mandate in place, but they can't suspend or expel K through 8 students. So, you know, we'll be keeping a very close eye on this, and our legal team is working hard behind the scenes.
And what is the latest on the lawsuit against the state?
I cannot wait until we can give you a hearing date. As soon as we find that out, you'll be the first to know, and things will move very quickly once we have that hearing date. We're hoping that we get a favorable ruling, and if so, it would be an emergency injunction that would go into effect, and our kids could have mask choice right away.
I know many of the parents and community members were at the board meeting yesterday. We have Derek Greco here. How are you doing? Okay, I was watching the video yesterday. You were addressing the board of supervisors. Do you want to share anything with San Diego? Why it was so important for you to be there yesterday and call out the board?
You know, I'd never been to that building before. We had a rally outside there once, but as a parent and a citizen, I never thought I'd have a need to show up and to talk about these topics. But clearly, the people that represent us, or are supposed to represent us, are not. And that was exposed with Nathan Fletcher and the pharmaceutical campaign donations that he receives. So next time we see him, I'm going to bring him a jacket with all the patches for all the pharmaceutical companies that he represents, since he doesn't represent us.
All right, let's cool things down a little bit. Okay, are your kids in the Carlsbad Unified School District?
No.
No, okay. What district are they?
Poway.
Poway. And when are they starting school?
Some of them started today. Ours starts on the 7th of September.
Okay, are your kids going to be wearing masks when they return to school?
No, she has a choice.
All right, well, how are you going to handle it if they say, sorry, Mr. Greco, you got to send your kid home, you know, they're not complying?
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I think one of the things that we all need to do is we need to take our power back. This is a power grab. This is for people that are willing to hand over their personal sovereignty to the government. This is the only way they can do it. So we have to just maintain our own free will, and we have to teach our children the same thing.
All right, Derek, thank you so much. And Sharon, thank you so much. All right, well, these mass choice rallies continue across the state. Many parents behind the group Let Them Breathe, they just want to end mask mandates in schools K through 12, but we'll have a full wrap up tonight at 10.
All right, Teresa, we'll see you at 10. Thanks for the live report.